This news is a little too much for me to digest as of right now. I think so.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Your boy Joey SHAKESQUAD coming, guys, with the video right now. So we have some news, and it's really too early to talk about this. And Lamar Jackson has talked to people that are close to him about his future with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, he's actually named a few teams that he's interested in playing for come next year on certain situations, probably knowing the situations, probably really getting a jump ahead of time in case he's not going to get that big contract at the end of this year going into next year. Now, it's his breaking Ravens star Lamar Jackson has privately told those close to him that he will not play in the franchise tag if applied. Jackson does have a list of teams he would like to be interested in going to. The list includes Lions, Dolphins, Eagles. Okay, obviously the Lions... I don't know what Jared Goff's contract looks like right now. I don't know how many more years are left on it, but we'll see. Dolphins, Eagles, I could definitely see that because of, Tua is pretty much put in the same exact category as Hurts. They're both in the same situation going into this year that they really have to prove their worth this year, which is kind of crazy. But Eagles it's not really surprising to me that he's picked the Eagles and maybe thinks he can go somewhere with this team or is willing to pay him that money. I mean, this is definitely a name we're going to have to watch out for after this season. But we're going into our second game, guys, and this news is already out. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going to happen with Jalen Hurts. I thought he had a really good first game, and we just have to see more. I mean, it's way too early to get into all the quarterback talk as of right now. I'm focused on the season. I'm focused on winning the East. I'm focused on getting into the playoffs. I'm focusing on winning a playoff game with the roster that we have right now and hoping that the coaches are the right coaches for the job when it comes to our two coordinators in Shane Steichen and definitely Jonathan Gannon, with Jonathan Gannon definitely on the hot seat, which I think Gannon will be gone after this year regardless. But Lamar Jackson, look, I'm not a big Lamar Jackson fan, okay? When it comes to Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, is he a little bit of an upgrade? I guess. I mean, it's way too early right now. I'm just not into it. I like what Hurts is bringing to this team right now and the way he was really throwing the football. His release time was fantastic. Him and A.J. Brown were fantastic that first game. And I think more of these targets and more distribution of the football is going to come Monday night. It's too much to really talk about right now. If the Eagles, at the end of the year don't win the East, if they can't get into the playoffs, if Hurts plays subpar like last year or just falls apart at the end of this year, I can understand that the Eagles might not want to go into this draft with 2 first-round picks. And I think, the Eagles have draft capital. They have draft capital, guys. They have 2 first-rounders and a second-round pick. Come next year. And obviously with how much, with the Saints, we have the Saints first round pick from the Eagles-Saints trade. So got to see how, they won their first game. So let's see what they do the rest of the season. Hopefully we get somewhat of a high pick because, after we had the Dolphins first round pick last year and they won 8-9 games straight, kind of ruined everything for us. But I think it ended on a good note because we still got what we wanted in the draft these past 2 seasons, these past 2 off seasons, which have been fantastic. But I am far from thinking about a quarterback or who's interested, but this was some crazy news. This was some crazy news today. Look, I don't know how much interest the Eagles are going to have in the draft next year, and if Hurts isn't the guy, let's just say, because people think I want him to fail, people think I hate him, which I don't. Okay, 1 game is just not enough for me to say, where are we going now? I need to give Hurts, I can't talk today, give Hurts the whole entire 2022 season. I mean, really, by the bye week, we should know, right? Should we know by the bye week, a couple weeks after that, maybe week 9, something, that we're going in the right direction with Jalen Hurts, that this is our franchise guy going forward. It's going to be a shame if he's gone after this year, that leadership quality that he has, the work ethic, it's just all there. The mentality is all there. He just has to match that with his play. And talking about another quarterback right now is just, I can't even think about that because I'm focused on one thing. I'm focused on getting as far as possible with this team this year. This team getting better and better each and every week. And obviously the Eagles have a very high chance in, from making the playoffs this year. I mean, I can't even accept a wild card. Like, they have to win the East. They have to win a playoff game this year. Like, I feel like there's a lot that has to go right with not just Jalen Hurts, but with the coaching staff as well, and putting the right pieces in the right positions to win football games. I think, we have everything that looks good on paper. Howie Roseman has done his due diligence, did his job the past couple seasons, and to make it look like we're rebuilding. But I'm telling you, this team is more dangerous than we realize. They just got to put the X's and O's together and get this thing going as a group. And I think it's going to work out. I really do. And then, God forbid, if something happens and Hurts just blows it after this year, the Eagles are going to have options. The Eagles are going to have a lot of options. So Lamar Jackson is not going to sign a franchise tag. He's not going to sign a franchise tag next year. He wants a lucrative long-term deal, probably getting 45 plus. Who knows what that deal is going to look like. And it's kind of scary because, guys, like, this is the most important decision after this season the Eagles have to make, because once you pay a quarterback, it's really going to be hard to make a lot of moves. It's going to be tough to make moves. But Howie is a cap wizard, a trade wizard, and we have gotten a lot of pieces these past couple seasons, and you're a few pieces away, other than like the safety position. I know like we haven't seen much of Gardner Johnson. I understand, like, he just got here. He played in that Lions game. He was only in the building for 10 days by that time. So give it some time in the future. Eagles have a lot of draft capital. It would be nice if Jalen Hurts is a starting quarterback for the future and, get us to a playoff game or even get us to the NFC Championship game. I know people are going to laugh at that, but I feel like this team has a lot of talent. It's going to depend on both these coordinators and Jalen Hurts to get the job done. So I'm far from talking about Lamar Jackson. Maybe at the end of the year, if Hurts is not panning out, not playing good, the Eagles, this team is in a really bad position right now. At that time, at the end of the year, if we're in a bad position, then we talk about something like this. But, these rumors are always going to come about. And Lamar Jackson telling to the people close to him, whether it's his friends, his family, that the Eagles are one of those landing spots is very interesting. And saying that, yeah, I look at that team and want to join that team and I want to go play for them. So I don't know if Hurts and Lamar are friends. I don't know if they know each other that well. I don't really know that aspect of all that relationship-wise. But it's I really hope that we don't have any dysfunction at the end of this year, and then every video that I make is going to be, what are the Eagles doing at quarterback once again? And I feel like if you go into the draft next year, say Hurts doesn't work out, you go into the draft next year and you get a quarterback, it's going to take a couple years to really do something. If you get Lamar Jackson, just say you trade for Lamar, yeah, you're ready to compete for a Super Bowl. I mean, that's the way it's going to go. You don't trade for a guy like this. You trade for a guy like this. The only good thing about if Hurts does leave, and I don't want it to happen, but say he does leave, I think they're going to end up trading him. Most likely Hurts will probably be traded if he plays bad this year. And if they get Lamar Jackson, then yeah, you're ready to compete. You're ready to get it done. That's just the way it is. You're not going to contend next year. You're not going to contend the year after. You're going to contend right now. If it's next year and if Hurts is playing bad after this year and you make a trade like this, there's no time wasted. And a quarterback coming to this team is already going to have a good amount of weapons, already kind of a built offense around the quarterback. So really, maybe to tinker with some depth at the offensive line or something like that going to the future at right tackle, left tackle with Dillard, going to becoming a free agent. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of decisions that are going to be made. It's not just the quarterback position if Hurts is the guy, but you have a lot of one-year deals, which is a really good thing. I'm glad that the Eagles aren't locked into big contracts like they used to be because of the Super Bowl. They were signing guys left and right because of that Super Bowl, and they made some really bad decisions. That's why our cap hasn't been great. But I think Howie Roseman's getting full control and is taking over what is to be, a team that it looks really good on paper. But I think financially, stability, the foundation of our financials are getting a lot better now. So we will have more cap, more moves are going to be made. Still waiting on a Hargrave extension. There's a lot going on. I think Kaiser White or TJ Edwards will be signed. Marcus Epps could be re-signed. Who knows what could happen. It's going to be a lot going on after this year, trust me. But I'm not thinking about next year already. I'm not thinking about Lamar Jackson, what he said, but obviously I want to get this news out to you because I think it's important that he says, hey, talks to a family member or one of his friends that, the Eagles are one of the landing spots. It's actually pretty important. So the Dolphins and obviously the Eagles are definitely two different situations, both great offenses, both a lot of weapons offensively, good offense built, and Tua and Jalen Hurts are almost in the same position. The front office giving them weapons to prove themselves, and this is the prove-it year for both of those quarterbacks. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be crazy. That's why I want Jalen Hurts to work out because he already knows the players in the building. And you're not paying him right now. I want to see some success this year. I want to see a big step forward this year, not just from him, but the whole entire team and the coaching staff. Because I think Howie Roseman has done well over enough of what he's done the past couple seasons. It's out of his hands now. It's down to this coaching staff to get these guys producing any given Sunday, every week, Monday, Thursday night games. The Eagles have 5 primetime games this year, so a lot to be seen with this team going to this year. So other than that, let me know what you guys think about Lamar Jackson making Philadelphia Eagles a possibility to join them if Hurts does not work out after this year. So, other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up, follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.